From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2 p.m. session of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch. Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Supervisor Couch will not be joining us this afternoon, so as Vice Chair, I will be in his stead this afternoon. So welcome to our PM session. Ms. Rezan, our County Counsel, would you please give us a report on actions taken in closed session?
Good afternoon, Supervisor Maggard, board members. Your board met on items 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55. However, there is no reportable action.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, we're going to deal with our consent items first this afternoon. Consent items are indicated with a CA above the item number. They are considered to be routine by staff and usually voted on all at once. If you have a question about a matter that's on consent, I'll give you an opportunity in a moment to raise your concern, and then we'll decide if we're going to pull it off the consent or just proceed with the consent calendar. So consent items begin on page 2 with items 3, 4, and 5. On page 3, all the items 6 through 9. On page 4, all the items 10 through 15. On page 5, items 16, and then items 18 through 22. Are there any members of the public that have a question or comment regarding items on consent? I don't see anyone. How about members of the board? Do you have anything, colleagues, or would you like to make a motion to proceed?
Motion on consent.
Thank you. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Couch.
Thank you very much. Are there, we offer an opportunity each time we meet for the public to make comment to us about matters not otherwise on our agenda. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment this afternoon? Please come forward. Give us your name for the record. We allow 2 minutes for each speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Jasmine Del Aguila with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. As you all know, Leadership Council, along with CRP and other organizations, have been advocating in the budget. And I have here our platform as well as, I don't know if you remember, some weeks ago, I came and showed some pictures about Rexland Acres and how it flooded in March because of the rain, because of the lack of infrastructure. And so I kind of called on the need for basic infrastructure throughout Kern County to kind of eliminate the fact that a lot of folks are walking around, jumping over, driving around, and sometimes impeding, lack of access to Bakersfield being the metropolitan city. But also today kind of calling for the fact that when there's large bodies of water, it's also a health risk for vector-borne illnesses, for our most vulnerable populations, with our children, elderly, and also low-income communities, right, because they lack the infrastructure. But also going into the budget advocacy, we ask that the board consider what is a flood risk assessment to help identify communities or areas that might be most vulnerable or more at risk to flood, and therefore increase their risks to health concerns. As we know, it's not only the communities that we work with personally, like Lamont and Rexland Acres, but it's also the eastern side of Kern County at large that lacks infrastructure. So putting a little bit more emphasis on, one, the infrastructure that needs to be built, and also flooding and its health risks that comes along, and also the costs that happens when areas go underwater. So just for your consideration, that's the platform there, along with just a reminder of the pictures from Rexland Acres. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Not seeing anyone else, we'll close public comment and return to the board. Colleagues, do you have anything that you would like to share this afternoon before we proceed? Okay, we only have one item off of consent this afternoon. That is item number 17. It's on page 5 of your agenda, and it is a proposed agreement for the lease of land at the Kern River Park with the California State Soccer Association. I think Mr. Hill. Good afternoon, Mr. Hill. How are you?
Good afternoon, Vice Chairman Maggard and members of the board. This will be brief this afternoon, but important. The item before you today is a proposed agreement for the lease of land at Kern County Soccer Park with the California State Soccer Association South, or Cal South, for the continued operation of the soccer park. As has been discussed here before, we are here today because of the foresight and leadership of John Trino and the Kern County Soccer Foundation. Now, to quote Warren Buffett, someone is sitting in the shade today because somebody planted a tree long ago. The Kern County Soccer Foundation planted that tree, and now Cal South will continue to tend to it. With this new agreement, we've taken the opportunity to improve the contract with Cal South to more clearly address land use issues and to clarify the use of surplus revenues. These revenues will be used to further the mission of improving soccer in the community through Cal South's charitable activities and by reinvesting in the facility. Cal South has identified several improvements to the facility that are needed, and they include restroom upgrades, concessionary improvements, additional shade structures, additional lighted fields, and roadway and parking lot improvements. While surplus revenues are not abundant, the county as well as Cal South will be diligent in pursuing these improvements. Therefore, we are requesting your board approve the agreement and authorize the chairman to sign. And that is the end of my prepared comments, but I believe John Trino and Johnny Garza would like to say a few words, so I'd like for John Trino to come up. I think he's going to say a couple things.
Very good. Mr. Trino, it's nice to see you again.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, board. Thank you for a lot of things. I think it's very important today. We're on the eve, for me specifically, after 40-some years and a lot of hard work with a lot of people, I felt that I needed to take one last opportunity to, first of all, I want to recognize Dr. Bill Baker. You stand up, please. Dan Imes. These two gentlemen came to my rescue when I had a vision and when I needed an Eisenhower because I was a Patton. He filled the bill. And Dan, you are the two longest remaining of the original groups that did so much. That's why I've always said there's no I in we. We did it. However many years, however many put in, without them, wouldn't have happened. Thank you, both.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Also, I think it's imperative. I asked Gary Witcher, Cal Water, to be here, and for one reason, a great reason. You have in your midst some of the finest working people in the county that I've ever known. This gentleman has come to my rescue over and over during droughts, during anything. Water is the key, blood for this park. If it doesn't have grass, ball doesn't roll. So he was always there with the county. Back from Frank Stramler on, I dealt with all of them. Everyone you've had, all of the different Parks and Recs people, and I just felt imperative. Katie Watkins with the county, Jeff Hill, Mr. Aslett, all of you that I've dealt with, argued with, arm wrestled, fought, it came out a winner. The art of war is deception, but also the art of war is nobody loses. We have all won. And I think at this point, passing the baton for me, and I'm sure Bill, Dan, all the other hundreds of people who helped build this park, today would cost you $25 million to build this thing. When I got it, it was for rabbits and gophers. And you were happy to get rid of the damn thing. And Frank said, you can have the damn thing, pay me when you can. Now it's different. Now you have somebody. And I worked very hard and diligently to figure out who is this going to be. And because of the relationship with Cal South and the world of soccer, I think it needs to be known to the community and the county and the city that without their involvement, which I banked on, I fished with them for a long time to catch them, that they are the salvation to this park. I made it better than I found it and started it, and they're going to make it better than I left it. They have the facility, they have the finances, and they have the ability. They're already talking about such grand improvements that will make it look like you'll forget my name in 2 weeks. And that's okay, because now they got it. So I want to thank all of you, the board. Mike, if I may call you. You've been instrumental in helping a lot of this stuff move on. Without your decisions and things, and it wouldn't be there. And it's a diamond in the rough. It will never be camouflaged with traffic. It'll never be anything that what it is in a beautiful area to accommodate millions and millions of kids for a long time. Remember, that's what you're approving, is the ability to keep them out of your hair to play somewhere else you don't want them, because now they got a place to go. I thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Jonathan, for taking up the baton, and I'll make damn sure you do it right. Call me if you need help, but thank you so much, and thank you all.
Thank you, John. Appreciate all you've done, buddy. Good afternoon. Could you give us your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Johnny Garza. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the California State Soccer Association, more easily pronounced as Cal South, which is what we prefer. Full disclosure, I guess I should also say this afternoon, in addition to my role and duties as responsibilities as CEO, I'm also a very avid Liverpool Football Club fan. For anybody that's following the Champions League today, or when you read the results, you'll understand part of my excitement. But even beyond that, I want to express to the board and to the staff of Kern County how excited we are at Cal South to be able to venture into this opportunity with you and to be good partners and stewards of what we believe is a tremendous jewel and an asset both to your community and to the constituency that we represent, not only here in Bakersfield and in Kern County, but quite frankly throughout our jurisdiction, which is essentially soccer governance of the 10 counties, 10 southern counties of California. Our influence does expand much further than that, but certainly we represent more than 300,000 athletes, coaches, parents, administrators, and are very excited about the opportunity to continue to grow and develop the beautiful game that we love so much here in your community. And I think this is probably well known, but Mr. Trino and his staff and the legacy that they have invested in here for decades has really served many, many thousands of soccer athletes and players who have gone on either to pursue other interests in the game or become great citizens of our community. So we are very aware of just how important that work is, specifically with our youth. But we see that also as it manifests itself where the youth grow up and become adults and continue to play the game. And you have much of that representation here in Bakersfield as well, which we are also excited about. We'd also like to express our thanks and gratitude to the board and to the staff of the county in advance for your confidence in us. We know that we're stepping into a great role of responsibility. We embrace that eagerly. We're excited for the opportunities that are ahead. And to Mr. Trino, we're grateful for your service and your contributions and look forward to accepting the baton and doing the very best that we can within our oversight of the program. So thank you again. And one other final comment, if I can. The staff here at Kern County have been fantastic in helping us as we navigated through the process here. Jeff Hill, Katie Watkins especially, were just tremendously helpful to us as we went through this. So our thanks to them. We wanted to make sure we express that to you so you were aware of the fine work that they represent here for your county. So thank you again. We're excited for the opportunity.
Mr. Garza, could you give us just a thumbnail sketch of what we might expect to see around the park in the next months as you guys move forward?
Well, our next few weeks are certainly going to be a number of engagement with Mr. Trino and his staff. We'll be meeting with them to effect the transition. One of our first things that we'll follow up on, and we'll coordinate this with the staff, is essentially a meet and greet, if you will. We'd like to come in, bring our staff and some of our own members of our board of directors here to introduce ourselves, if you will, to the community. We realize that this park, as I mentioned earlier, is an asset and tremendous value to the community, even beyond the soccer community. We want to be great partners for the county. We want to be good neighbors to the community. And so we look forward to meeting others, not only in the game, but outside of the game. So that I would envision that will happen very soon here over the course of the next week or two. We should have something scheduled. And then beyond that, we plan to bring in essentially some assistance, which would manifest itself in the form of an assessment to review the park itself, both from just a functionality point of view and start to kind of prioritize areas that maybe need attention more readily. And then based on the feedback we get from that, strategically plan out the course of action for improvements downstream that may come in subsequent time or subsequent years.
Very good. Well, thank you. Welcome, and we look forward to partnering with you in our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, anything else? No, sir? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, are there any members of the public that would like to make comment to us about this, this opportunity that we have before us this afternoon? I don't see anyone, so I'll return to the board. Colleagues, do you have any questions, comments, or is there a motion to make a finding that the project is exempt from further CEQA review and to approve and authorize the chairman to sign?
Motion on staff's recommendation.
Second.
Thank you very much. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Couch.
Thank you all. We're in good hands. That's right. Not seeing any other business before us this afternoon, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you. Without objection, so ordered. We'll see you next Tuesday. Monday. Monday at what time?
Mr. Chairman, the board will meet Monday evening, 6 p.m. for a special meeting.
Thank you. Monday evening, 6 p.m. And if you want to give today to your favorite charity, there's a way to leverage that. Go to givebigkern.org. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you Monday night.